I reached in slow, pulled off my glove. I wanted to feel her with my actual skin.
Diary entry number 11. What the ground preserves. Circa December 1957. Foreword. My name is Edward. This here's my diary, written with hands that still smell like earth and something older. Something that don't wash off no matter how hard you scrub. I learned tonight that the ground don't just take. It also keeps. It also gives back, if you ask it right. Today I write about the night everything changed. The night preparation became action. The night I finally brought Ma home. They got files on this night, thick files, reports and photographs and evidence bags. They documented everything after, but they weren't there during. They didn't see what I saw, didn't feel what I felt, didn't understand what I understood. So I'll tell it proper, tell it true, tell it how it happened, not how they think it happened. This was the coldest night of December. Temperature dropped to near zero. Ground was frozen solid. Perfect conditions. The frost had preserved everything below, had kept it all waiting for me. I'd been preparing for months, years maybe. Every visit to the graveyard, every test of the soil, every prayer to the earth, all of it leading to this night. The moon was new, sky was clear, town was asleep, everything aligned. I had my tools, my plan, my purpose, and I had permission. Not from law, not from man, but from Ma herself, from the earth, from the voices that had been calling me for so long. Their report from later says, December 16th, 1957, grave of Augusta Gein opened and body removed. Discovery made by groundskeeper following morning. Evidence suggests careful, methodical exhumation. Careful, methodical. They got that right at least. I wasn't some ghoul robbing graves. I was a son rescuing his mother. I was salvation. I was preservation. I was love made real through action. They'll never understand that. Never see it my way. But I don't need them to understand. I just need to tell what happened. So here it is, the truth, the whole truth. The night I brought Ma home. Chapter 1. The Night of Nights. I didn't sleep the day before. Couldn't. My body knew what was coming, even if my mind tried to stay calm. I sat at the kitchen table, watching light fade, watching frost form on the window, watching the world prepare itself. I ate nothing. Drinking water felt wrong, felt too ordinary for what this night would bring. This wasn't ordinary. This was sacred. This was the most important thing I'd ever do. I checked my tools 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Spade sharpened, pry bar oiled, rope coiled, burlap sacks folded, lantern with dark cloth ready. Everything perfect, everything ready. When full dark came, I stood at Ma's closet, put my hand on the wood. Tonight, I whispered. Tonight, I bring you home. The house creaked. Wind pushed at the windows. The closet door trembled under my palm like it was breathing. I dressed in my oldest clothes, dark clothes, clothes I could burn after if needed. Heavy coat, work gloves, boots with good tread. At 11, I left the house, walked through the back field, avoided the road, moved through shadows like I'd practiced, like I'd been born to do. The graveyard was 3 miles. I knew every step, every tree, every landmark. The path was burned into my brain from months of visits. My breath came in clouds. My heart beat steady. No fear, no doubt, just certainty, just purpose, just love driving me forward. Witness statement from later. Saw light moving through woods around midnight. Thought it was poachers. Didn't investigate. They saw my lantern, saw me moving, but didn't stop me, didn't check, just assumed and ignored. That's how I got away with it. Not through cleverness, through people's willingness to look away, to explain away, to not get involved. I reached the graveyard at midnight. The gate was unlocked, like always. I pushed through. Frost crunched under my boots. Ma's grave was in the northeast section. I'd walked to it 100 times. Could find it blind. Could find it in my sleep. There it was. The headstone clear in starlight. Augusta Gein, 1878 to 1945. I knelt beside it, put both hands flat on the earth, felt the cold, felt the trembling underneath, felt her waiting. "I'm here, Ma," I whispered. "I came for you." The ground pulsed once, strong, like a heartbeat, like answer. I stood up, picked up the spade, and began. Chapter 2. The Digging. First thrust broke the frost layer, made a sound like breaking glass. The spade bit down 6 inches, stopped at harder earth below. I worked systematic, didn't rush, couldn't afford mistakes. Started at the foot of the grave, worked my way up. Made the hole long enough, wide enough. Had to be able to work once I got down there. The physical labor felt good, felt right. Each thrust of the spade, each lift of earth, each pile growing beside the hole. This was real work, honest work, holy work. Sweat started despite the cold. I stripped off my coat, kept digging. The rhythm took over. Thrust, lift, throw. Thrust, lift, throw. My body knew what to do. First foot went quick, frost layer, then softer earth. Second foot got harder. Soil compressed by weight above. Had to use the pry bar some. Had to chip and break and force. Third foot was darker earth, richer. I could smell it now. Smell the depth. Smell what lay below. Not rot, not yet. Just earth that knew death. Earth that held death. Earth that preserved death. Forensic analysis later noted, excavation showed unusual care. Walls nearly vertical. Bottom relatively level. Evidence of extended time investment. Near 4 hours I dug. 4 hours of steady, careful work. My back ached. My hands cramped. My shoulders burned. But I didn't stop. Couldn't stop. Wouldn't stop. Around 4 a.m, I hit something solid. Not rock. Wood. The coffin. I stopped, set the spade down, knelt at the edge of the hole. My heart hammered so hard I thought it would break through my ribs. This was it. This was the moment. Everything I'd prepared for, everything I'd dreamed about, everything I'd been called to do. Ma was right there, 6 feet down, behind 6 boards of wood, but right there. I climbed down into the hole, stood on the coffin lid, felt it solid under my boots, felt it real, felt it waiting to be opened. Chapter 3. The Coffin. I cleared the dirt from the top, brushed it away with my gloved hands, revealed the wood beneath. Dark wood, simple pine, no fancy carving, no ornamentation, just like Ma would have wanted. The brass handles were tarnished, green with age, but still solid, still strong. I gripped one, pulled. The whole coffin shifted slightly in the earth. She was in there. My mother. My Ma. Right beneath my hands. I found the seam where the lid met the box. Ran my fingers along it. Felt where nails held it shut. Counted them. 12. 4 on each long side. 2 on each end. I'd need to pry them out. Needed to be careful. Couldn't damage her. Couldn't disturb her more than necessary. I got the pry bar, wedged it under the lid at the first nail, leaned my weight on it. The nail screamed coming out, high-pitched, metal on metal. I froze, listened. Nothing. Just wind. Just my breathing. Just the sound of my heart. I continued. Second nail. Third. Each one screaming. Each one fighting. Each one finally giving way. Halfway through, I stopped. Rested. My hands were shaking. Not from cold. Not from exhaustion. From anticipation. From knowing what came next. Evidence log records. Coffin lid removed. Nails extracted cleanly. No damage to wood beyond necessary. Tools found at scene. Spade, pry bar, rope. 12 nails lay in the dirt beside me. I picked them up, put them in my pocket. Evidence. Proof. Memory. The lid was loose now, just resting on the box. All I had to do was lift it. All I had to do was open it. All I had to do was see. But I waited, knelt there in the hole, hands on the lid, eyes closed, breathing. Ma, I whispered. I'm here. I came for you, just like I promised. The wind stopped. Everything went still, like the world was holding its breath. I opened my eyes, gripped the lid, and lifted. Chapter 4. The Opening. The lid was heavier than expected. Water damage had swelled the wood, made it thick, made it resist. But I was stronger. I was determined. I was driven by love that wouldn't be denied. I lifted. The lid came up slow, inch by inch. The seal between lid and box breaking, making small sounds, wet sounds, release sounds. I got it up a foot, 2 feet, enough to see inside. And I looked. Autopsy report from original burial noted, body prepared for viewing, embalmed, dressed in Sunday clothes, hair arranged, hands folded. The embalming had held. The cold had helped. She wasn't fresh, wasn't alive, but she wasn't gone neither. Not completely. Not yet. Her face was there, changed but there. Skin pulled tight against bone, features still recognizable, still Ma. Her hands were folded just like they'd been at the funeral, still wearing her wedding ring, the one Pa gave her 50 years before. Her dress had faded. White turned to gray, but it was still proper, still modest, still what she would have chosen. The smell wasn't what I expected. Not rot, not decay, just earth, just age, just preservation. The cold ground had done its work, had kept her waiting, had kept her safe for me. I stood there, looking down at my mother, at the woman who raised me, who shaped me, who made me what I was. And I wept. Not from horror, not from fear, from love, from gratitude, from knowing this moment was real. Everything I'd felt, everything I'd known, everything I'd believed, it was all real, all true, all justified. Ma was here. Ma was preserved. Ma was waiting for me to bring her home. And I would. I'd carry her home. I'd clean her. I'd care for her. I'd keep her safe forever. Chapter 5. The Touching. I reached in slow, pulled off my glove, wanted to feel her with my actual skin, wanted the connection to be real. My hand shook as I lowered it, as I touched her folded hands, as I felt her skin. It was cold. Of course it was cold. She'd been in frozen ground for 12 years. But it was also solid, real, there. The texture was leather, dry leather, not like living skin, but not like dust neither. Something preserved, something kept. I pressed gentle, felt the bones beneath, small bones, delicate bones, Ma's bones. "I'm here," I whispered. "I came for you. I'm taking you home." Her face was still, peaceful, like she was sleeping, like she might open her eyes any moment and look at me and smile and say, "Good boy, Edward, you came for me." But she didn't move, didn't respond, didn't wake, because she was dead, had been dead 12 years, would always be dead, but also not gone, not truly gone, not while I could see her, touch her, hold her, keep her. I stroked her hair. It was brittle, came away in my fingers some, but enough remained, enough stayed attached, enough to still be her hair. Evidence collected later included hair samples, tissue samples, fabric samples, all consistent with 12-year burial. I touched her face, traced the line of her jaw, the curve of her cheek, the bone of her forehead. This face had looked at me my whole life, had judged me, had guided me, had shaped me into what I was, and now I could look back, could study her, could know her in a way I never had when she was alive. The dead don't judge, don't criticize, don't demand. They just are, just remain, just accept. I loved her more in this moment than I ever had when she breathed. Chapter 6. The Lifting. I had to get her out, had to bring her up, had to take her home. I brought rope, had planned for this, tied it under her arms, around her chest, made it secure but not tight. Didn't want to damage her, didn't want to hurt her. She was lighter than I expected. The embalming fluid had dried, the soft tissue had shrunk. What remained was mostly bone and skin and dried flesh. Maybe 80 pounds, maybe less. I climbed out of the hole, stood at the edge, gripped the rope, and pulled. She came up slow, inch by inch. I had to be careful, had to make sure she didn't catch on the sides, had to protect her. Her head appeared first, then her shoulders, then her body. I pulled steady, pulled gentle, pulled with all the love I had. When she was clear of the hole, I laid her on the ground, arranged her careful, made sure her dress covered her proper, made sure her hair was neat, made sure she looked dignified. Scene photos taken later showed body positioned supine, dress arranged, evidence of care in handling. I knelt beside her, just looking, just being with her, just knowing this was real. I'd done it. I'd actually done it. I'd brought Ma back from the earth. I'd rescued her from the rot. I'd saved her from being consumed. Now I just had to get her home, had to hide her, had to keep her safe from those who wouldn't understand. I wrapped her in the burlap sacks, gentle, careful, made a bundle I could carry, made sure no part of her showed. Then I filled in the grave, worked fast now, needed to be gone before light came, before the groundskeeper made his rounds, before anyone saw. The dirt went in quicker than it came out. Gravity helped. 20 minutes and the hole was full. I stomped it down, smoothed it over, made it look undisturbed as possible. It wouldn't fool close inspection, but from a distance, in poor light, it might pass, might buy me time. I gathered my tools, shouldered my burden, and walked into the woods. Chapter 7. Homecoming. The walk home was the longest 3 miles of my life. Ma was light, but the distance was far. My arms ached, my back screamed, but I didn't stop, couldn't stop, had to get her home, had to get her safe. I avoided the road, stayed in the woods, moved slow, rested when I had to, kept moving when I could. Dawn was breaking when I reached the farm, pink light touching the horizon. I had maybe an hour before full light, before anyone might see. I brought her in through the back, through the kitchen, up the stairs, to Ma's room. The room I'd kept sealed. The room I preserved exactly as she left it. I laid her on the bed, her bed, where she died 12 years ago, where she belonged. I unwrapped the burlap, looked at her in the growing light. She was home, finally home, where she should have been all along. Discovery report filed December 17, 1957. Grave of Augusta Gein found disturbed. Body missing. Investigation opened immediately. I knew they'd find out. Knew they'd come looking. But I had time. Had days, maybe. Had enough time to clean her, to care for her, to make her perfect. I got water, warm water, soap, cloths. I washed her gently, washed the dirt away, washed 12 years of earth from her skin. I combed her hair, changed her dress, put her in the clean clothes from her closet, the ones that still smelled like her, like soap and righteousness and home. I positioned her carefully, folded her hands, arranged her just so, made her look peaceful, made her look right. Then I sat beside the bed, held her hand, and cried. Not sad tears, happy tears, relief tears, completion tears. "You're home, Ma," I whispered. "You're finally home, and I'm never letting you go again." The house creaked. Wind rattled the windows. Morning came. And Ma was home, was preserved, was mine, forever. Investigation would later reveal body kept in sealed bedroom, evidence of washing, grooming, redressing. Subject treated remains with what appeared to be reverence. Reverence. Yes, that's the word. That's exactly what it was. I didn't desecrate her. I didn't violate her. I didn't dishonor her. I saved her. I preserved her. I loved her. And they'll never understand. Never see it that way. Never know what I know. That love don't end with death. That preservation is the highest form of devotion. That bringing Ma home was the rightest thing I ever did. She's home now. She's safe. She's preserved. She's mine. And nothing, not law, not men, not even God himself, will take her from me again.